We can start. Our first meeting is the reorganization meeting this evening, and I'd just like to call that to order. And before we start, there were some students here, I believe. Yes. Can you please stand? I think everybody's been here to enjoy your music and everything. Well,
They stepped out.
oh, okay. I saw the head shaking back there. Okay, so they took off. Okay, Mr. Cook, can we ask you to extend our thank you to them for being here this evening?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. And with that being said, I'll ask if we can stand and please pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I guess. Okay, and we have the roll recorded, but I'm going to ask, and we decided to put this on the reorganization meeting. You know, during the year, there's many students, faculty, staff that we miss from our community. And instead of trying to always go through all the names, because there's always that habit that you can always miss somebody, we wanted to take a moment of silence, basically, to honor all those that have passed during this past year, and figured this is a good time always to do that. So if we can take a few moments. Thank you. And moving on, I'd like to ask for a motion at this point to elect a temporary president for the reorganization meeting.
Mr. President, I'd like to nominate our solicitor, John Foy.
Okay. Do I get a second on that? I think I only need motions and seconds on that because that doesn't retain. Can I ask for all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? John?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fainall. The term of a temporary president, you'll see, is temporary indeed. Before we perform my one and only function, which is the election of the officers, first we're going to ask whether there are any interested citizens who wish to speak at this time on matters on this very limited agenda. Anyone whatsoever? Okay. Seeing none, I will then call for nominations for the position of president.
Mr. President,
Mr.
is it
Pittibone.
possible to make a nomination to keep both cabinet positions as they are for another year?
Okay. Do I will understand that to be a nomination for president
And Vice President?
and for vice president. To maintain a, yes, Mr. Fainall and Mr. Ryder.
And I'll second that.
Okay. The chair recognizes that motion. Is there anyone objecting to that procedure? I see no objections, so with that, is there any discussion? All right, Mr. Moskaitis. Dr. Moskaitis.
Yes, Mr. Temporary President Freund.
Yes, that's President Pro Tem to you, Doctor.
I would just like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Fainall and Mr. Ryder for their service from this past year. I think it's a time to reflect on governance issues since you're reorganizing. And I know they've done a great deal of work outside these meetings that certainly meets the bill of suitability, I think, and so I'm very happy to see that they were nominated. I would also ask that the board, I would encourage the board and our officers that we have debates on those substantive issues. It's often very tempting to try to be looking for the 9-0 agreement, but I don't know that's always in the public's best interest. And the latest example was when we had a debate on the KOZ, a debate I instigated. And I did that on purpose because I think it's good for the public to hear from us individually and collectively as to how we're thinking. It should build confidence in what we do. So with that, No further comment.
Yeah, just one other comment is that
Volcano.
according to our policy, the president could only serve one more year. Then we have to change. We have a 2-year limitation on the president.
Okay, that's,
I'm just bringing that up.
okay, that's not applicable for this election, no.
No,
Mr.
no,
Fain
I'm
only having
bringing
served
it
one
up
term.
So
Okay.
everybody knows that.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Just like-
before we vote, I would just like to respond to Dr. Moscaitis. Dr. Moscaitis, I am willing to debate with you over every issue. If we are so lucky.
So am I.
That is why I'll be looking to move my seat soon.
It is kind of hard to turn my neck. I like when you're over there.
Okay, probably one of the longer discussions on a motion to retain the same slate that
I
I've
want to keep them
involved
with
with.
you because I want to debate with them
There
too.
you go.
Is there any other discussion on the motion, which is to reelect the same slate of officers for the upcoming year?
I would also
Mr.
just like
Dannenberg.
to extend my my gratitude and congratulations on a good year so far, and I look forward to another year under the same leadership.
Anyone else? All right, seeing no further discussion, call a question. All those in favor of retaining the same slate of officers, specifically the same president and the same vice president for the upcoming year, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, congratulations, Mr. Fainall, Mr. Ryder. With that, I will ask for a motion for adjournment of the organization. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, congratulations. My temporariness is